get it.
Oh my goodness. The Lunatic-Hai fans out in force. We are packed in here right now, OGN Legion. So we are going to start off in Village.
We are. So check out compositions here. Fine looking to start with a Zenyatta. Remember, when you look for flexibility in these two rosters, it's always going to be Pine who you want to be keeping a close eye on because, as you said, he started as main DPS. That's what he was famous for, but that was because of Flower's hand injury. Now he's subbing in for Luna, so he's taking more of the support role. If you look at the stats, you'll see he's about 50-50 in that way.
Yeah, we did see LW Blue experimenting with triple support compositions, which of course Lunatic-Hai were very, very good at as well. Of course, not on control necessarily. This is dominated by 2-2-2 at the moment, but very similar compositions. In fact, exactly the same as Yanis is almost dead already. Miro's going to be traded, so both of the Winstons now gone. And the mech is going to be taken out here on the side of LW Blue. So Lunatic-Hai already with a bunch of control here on this high ground.
Massive control there, taking the mech out and getting better position there, forcing everyone back into that choke point. Looks like Lunatic-Hai should easily be able to take the first cap here. And we've been seeing almost nothing but Soldier play out of Eska, except when he's playing the Sombra. This is not a Sombra control map. It would be a different story if we were on Oasis, but keep an eye on Eska's Soldier today. Remember, one of the most inconsistent players in the league, despite being on the defending championship team. He's definitely had a few oops moments in this tournament. And how well he plays tonight may be the defining point of Lunatic-Hai's play overall.
That is a good point, although a lot of those times have been on the Tracer as well, Wolf. You remember him tripping on his own Pulse Bomb earlier on. Now on the Soldier, a lot more comfort here for Eska. We'll see whether that's going to help him. As Sabioba goes down very low, good recall. Gets him back out there. Miro, he's struggling with his health bar, but Mako is going to lose his mech.
Looks like this Tracer war going in Guido's favor, though. As they maintain control. Getting the first flip is always so important. You get an ult advantage from it almost every time, and they're going to win this exchange so far. Pulse Bomb not even needed here. Zabiobi's the one who gets the pick, but Guido will force them back. Toby gets another kill here on Nemeko. The highest KD of all supports in this best of 5. He is by far the most kills, also the most deaths. He's a very aggressive Lucio player, but it works out in this case.
Yeah, but the ridiculous thing about Toby, especially in comparison to Gambler here, is Toby does 10% of his team's damage. Gambler does 6%. Both of them are the resident Lucios, so it's just crazy how much more aggressive Toby is on that pick, and he's going to throw down his ultimate now. High ground owned by LW Blue, but they have to get down to this point. It's up to about 70% as Eska throws in the tack visor, looking to grab those picks. Miro is going to fall down to Flower, whose tack visor was also engaged over the other side.
And Meko still has that self-destruct available, which is a really key ultimate here. He's going to drop it right into the center. Guido, though, gets a pick on him before he can remech.
Yeah, Flower's going to be able to take down Toby, though. Is this going to be enough? So it is only 1-for-1 as far as the players straggling around this point is concerned. Zumba's going to go down very low, loses the mech. Sabioba's going to claim that one, but they're still unable to get anything going on. They're standing on this point. It's going to go into overtime. Lunatic-Hai looking at 100% to 0, but it is going to be LW Blue who are able to switch that one back, as Lunatic-Hai lost a few too many.
Using a lot of ultimates there, Lunatic-Hai. Eska's tack visor not as useful as Flowers. Toby also dropping the sound barrier a little bit early. They were so greedy. They wanted to win the fight early to just get the full first map. Unfortunately, since it didn't work, they're going to have to recontest. And they have a lot of time to work with here, Atlas. They can build up 6 ultimates to go for the big 6 push, so I don't actually mind them committing the ultimates there. They could have just won the map there. Now they've got second opportunity.
Yeah, nice defense matrix just there to eat up that pulse bomb that flew in from Sabiobi earlier on. Wasn't able to get too much done with the flank, but you got Lunatic-Hai ready to take over this point once again. It's only ticked up just past 30%. And it will be straight into overtime as we are so close. In goes the Transcendence. We've got Sound Barrier there at the same time. Ryujahong is the one that invested the Transcendence. LW Blue answer it with the support of his own. Yeah, nicely done. Flower throws in the tack visor and is able to get the work done, but they lose their main tank. And Lunatic-Hai now have the Sound Barrier, and we've switched it over. It's overtime for LW Blue, desperate on this point, and a massive wipe from Lunatic-Hai. They will take the first one. Village and Nepal still owned by Lunatic-Hai here.
Wait,
Season 3.
Way better ult management there in that last fight. The Transcendence came up first for Lunatic-Hai, and in panic mode, Flower dropped the Tac Visor into the Transcendence. Wasn't able to get kills until it finally wore off. He took Eska out of the fight right when Eska had the better timed Tac Visor there. Had Eska survived, that would have been an even more one-sided fight. The D.Va ultimate not only helped secure the mech, but picked off Gambler, removing a lot of the healing and dispersion, and that's when Guido was able to help carry that last fight. Guido's really stepped it up tonight. He was winning the Tracer battles against Sabil, but he was getting more consistent picks. And you could tell, Eska does not feel threatened. I think he died twice that entire round, as he's just been really well protected by Zumba and the pressure coming out from Guido.
Yeah, and another massive shout out to Toby as well. When that Transcendence went down, he had 80% charge. He got 20% in a matter of seconds, just shooting people with his fancy little gun. So, look, Toby still being the aggressive support that we know him for. And that sound barrier was so well timed to make sure that Lunatic-Hai could grab that. So now we'll see whether Lunatic-Hai are going to be able to make this a 2-0, whether LW Blue are going to give us a series here on control. Giannis already going down extremely low, and he's going to die. Saebyobi as well, picked off by Jaehong. Oh my god, the double kill.
Jaehong's accuracy.
Crit hungry on this Zenyatta.
His accuracy is solid. You could tell the collapsing of discorded members has been really good. The target selection for Lunatic-Hai, always punishing Giannis' aggressive dive-ins like this. And Jaehong building up to now nearly 70%, almost double that of what Pine has been able to do. They get the first capture, they have an ult lead now, and things are looking very grim for Luxury Blue. They make the switch, Flower's gonna switch over the Genji. So we're already seeing them trying to run a different dive style here, showing their flexibility yet again, much more flexible than Lunatic-Hai, but they're gonna need to make this work. Flower lost all of his ult charge to do this.
Yep. We'll see whether this is going to work. Feels a little bit like desperation though, Wolf, honestly. LW Blue not looking like they have a whole lot of answers. They didn't on Village. Now it was a very quick first 40% here for Lunatic-Hai, who were not challenged so far. Giannis once again going down extraordinarily low. Feel like there might be questions asked as far as the lack of practice. You get a collapse long, it's hard to play video games when you're in hospital, Wolf.
Sure. This was definitely an Escalol moment here with the Tac Visor use. You want to get the kill onto the Tracer, failed to do so. So that kind of equalizes things. Flower now nearly with the Dragon Blade.
Didn't quite have the tracking, you'd say.
No, not quite. It wasn't as beautiful as you would have imagined. We're going to see a post-bomb attempt onto him. The Transcendence is live. He gets taken out.
No.
The sick Helix rockets there. That was a huge moment. That could have been the picks he was looking for.
He just put himself right in front of him. The Helix rockets all too easy. As now Flower has the Dragon Blade looking for it. Lunatic-Hai immediately answer with that well-timed sound barrier, and he's not able to get anything layered on with a Transcendence to try and get LW Blue onto the point, but not quite enough to get any picks just yet. Self-destruct coming in. Flower, nice line of sight, but Guido's going to be able to take down Pine, and Lunatic-Hai still have the answers here.
Oh, Zumba with that perfect self-destruct to buy extra time there. The sound barrier you mentioned, Guido does go down. It's a 1-for-1 trade here. Zumba now fully healed up. Ryojung with another Transcendence, building him so quickly on this first map, and that may very well just be it. There's the
layering of support ults is just so beautiful out of Lunatic-Hai. Eska throws in the Tac Visor just to try and lay claim to this point once again. Overtime not going to be ticking down just yet, but it's only a matter of time as LW Blue are getting staggered and destroyed as they're kicked off. There it is, the 2-0 statement control.
And a lot of this comes down to Jaehong's accuracy. You talk about a player who's made massive waves with his sleep darts. Not as impressive when we're in a meta that's less Genji favored, but when you've got the Discord orbs coming down, you're taking out Giannis when he dives in every time. You're getting consistent kills on Tracers. They're trying to pick you off in the backline. Then this becomes a terrifying situation where there are more Transcendences available as well. When you compare time played as well for Zenyatta, 17 minutes 45 for Pine, who's not a main support player, going into this match. Ryu Jaehoong's most played hero, 2 hours and 30 minutes. He's got 2 hours plus on this guy in this tournament alone. So when you compare these two supports, that's where they said the difference was going to be. That's what Guido said in the interview. Our strength lies in this best of 5 and the strength of our supports. And so far, it absolutely shows.
Yeah, supports and as well as coordinated play at the same time. Of course, these guys are the brains of the operation, but the fact that sound barriers were never overlapped with Transcendence. They always had Transcendence for the next fight, for the next time LW Blue were trying to collapse onto that point. They always had an answer, and while that Transcendence was coming in, you've got Toby shooting people and getting his ult charge back up, so that the fight afterwards, he's going to be able to grab himself a sound barrier. So now, we are going to have the tac pause coming in for LW Blue. Intelligent timing, making sure that after that first game, get that tac pause in, discuss exactly what went wrong, and try and regroup.
I think this is about mentality now. Look at this man in the striped shirt. This guy, not very well known in the Western scene. His name is Jidset. He was a former Brood War player, actually played a lot of televised Brood War matches, then transitioned, built 2 Heroes of the Storm teams, and then, moving into Overwatch, actually built one of the most successful Overwatch teams. 2 squads, Luxury Watch Blue and Red, that were very famous, even in the first weeks of Overwatch competitive. A very smart coach, someone who's been around in esports for a long time. And he's the one who made the decision to put Pine in instead of Luna. He's very confident in this decision. I don't think the failures of this first map lie within that decision. I think it goes back to what you were saying about coordination, usage of the ultimates. We saw the switch of Flower onto the Genji, came in, couldn't pair the Dragon Blade with anything. The sound barrier came to meet it. After it was almost expired, that's when the Transcendence came out from Pine. Desyncing of the ultimates was a big issue in some of these fights where they needed to commit to the flips.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're thinking about what map to go to here as you go into the second map. It's a tough call. Lunatic-Hai's been really good on hybrid maps. I think avoiding Hollywood is definitely the way to go, though, because Hollywood's one where they've had definitely a lot of different types of strategies. The triple support, Eska running now so much Sombra.
Well, it's actually interesting that you say that, because they are 3-3 on Hollywood. So, I mean, it is still a bit of a gamble for either side. I feel like in this situation, what LW Blue need to do is look for comfort, right? Don't look at what Lunatic-Hai have been doing. Just don't care about that. Try and get yourself onto a map that you feel good on, and you can try and get Janus back into the swing of things. Of course, we know that he's the green light of this team, but he hasn't been able to play with the team. He hasn't been able to practice and scrim and things like that over the last few weeks because of medical reasons. So what you need to do is try and get yourself back into that zone together. Of course, they have been practicing over the last couple of days, something like that. Not exactly sure of the exact time frame that Janus has had as far as spending time with his team, but it can't be long, because we only recently got the news.
I mean, this could be an opportunity for the Numbani pick. You take Numbani, you run your triple DPS. You've got Pine on the roster. You can flex the Soldier. You have the ability to run this very strong triple DPS where you're more successful with the triple DPS than Lunatic-Hai. I've only shown it a few times with the Soldier, mostly on control maps with Ryu Jae Hong switching over the Soldier. That's one strength they have. It's something we've seen them do before, specifically teching into that Numbani pick in the secondary group stage for the triple DPS Soldier push. So that's another opportunity. I still feel with how much Lunatic-Hai has prioritized Hollywood in map picks, even though, as you said, it's not a hyper favorite for them, I think you definitely want to avoid it. I think this is about getting morale high, though. Play a map you're very comfortable with, get that win, bring the morale back, bring the coordination back. Yeah. And you have to respect the early tactical pause. It says, okay, we got to get this momentum back right now. We're not waiting until later stages. We're not waiting until this series is already over.
Yeah, and you can see that there's nods coming out of the players as well. They know what they need to change. And Sebiolbi, of course, we know this guy as the Tracer player of Luxury Watch Blue. There is no the Tracer player on the side of Lunatic-Hai. We're looking at Sebiolbi to get his effect pants on, try and get his way into it, because he has been improving over the tournament. He sort of went from the 13th Tracer in the league, and then round of 8 saw him move up a few pegs, managed to get that KD working out for them. But Eichenwald is going to be the choice here from LW Blue.
For the first time they've picked a second picked the hyper map twice. They played Numbani, Eichenwald, and Hollywood for hybrid maps in the round of 8. So this will be the first time they have a repeat map pick, so changing it up quite a bit. Avoiding that Hollywood, but because they've shown that triple DPS attack on Numbani so many times, perhaps it feels obvious to Lunatic-Hai. So we're going to see that Eichenwald come out here. Obviously with Guido on the roster of Lunatic-Hai, Genji is so important on this map because he has to play Tracer. There's no real Genji player on the side of Lunatic-Hai right now. That was who RU's position. Genji is, yes, he's less common in the meta, but I feel like this is a map where you might have to see him. We'll see if Guido can swap over to that Genji because he's been underwhelming when you make the direct comparison to who RU.
That being said, his Tracer was looking good on control, so we'll see what happens as we head over to Eichenwald.
get it?
Looks like the Lunatic-Hai fans have not fallen asleep after their initial victory there in Nepal.
Definitely not. Coming in full force will be Luxury Watch Blue with first attack.
Well, we'll see what they decide to go with here. Pine back onto his Sombra. I like this a lot. Going for the triple DPS like we were talking about. Like we said, they have far more the option of doing. Mosquitoes running out on the Orisa. We'll see what he actually decides to go with this, because we've seen this composition actually be utilized on Eichenwald before.
Gotta respect that barrier placement there on the high ground. I don't know if there'd ever be a situation where that was useful, but he knows how to hit it, okay?
That's one hell of a projection. You know?
Well, we'll see if they actually commit to the one support Jaehong Ana with the Sombra, Orisa, Torbjorn.
No, there are like two pseudo supports here. Toby can throw out the armor, and Eska can go and make the health packs better. Like there's pseudo support coming out here. Don't necessarily have a soldier for the Bionic Field, but
I mean, 10 seconds to go, I think they're keeping it, so we are going to see this.
We have seen this before. This is like the double shield onto the turret, the immortal turret. Torbjorn's baby's going to be feeling pretty good behind a couple of nettings.
Putting all the eggs in one basket, though, against the really good dive coming out from Flower. Fairly risky, but they have the confidence here. Toby's initial forward turret is taken out. So it's a good scout here for LW Blue as they approach the point. It's going to be on the low ground, not the high ground here on the corner. Also using the payload itself as somewhat of a barrier. So the most risky point is going to be coming from behind here. So they'll need to be able to realize that Lunatic-Hai, that is the weak angle.
The thing that's fantastic about this from LW Blue is that Pine Sombra is going to be so important. The fact that he's now already up to 48%, he can bust down those shields that they're going to be relying on so effectively with that EMP. Look at this, already stacking all the way up to 70%.
It's going to be the moment, picking him off before he can use the EMP or responding accordingly, repositioning during the EMP. Those are going to be tools that Lunatic-Hai are going to have to utilize when that push comes down. 81% currently. Eska has the lead. Going to be a game of who EMPs first in a moment and how the response comes in. With no Zenyatta's, there's no Transcendence to pair with this. There's no Transcendence before the EMP to make sure you get that heal off. Here comes from Pine first.
Yeah, Pine's going to be able to throw that one down. They immediately get the barrier in. Eska holds on to his EMP as well as Flower able to take him down before he can even use it. Not sure why he wouldn't just throw that one into the mix, but LW Blue now setting themselves up on this point. Flower going down very low, but keeps himself safe on that high ground. Pulls him back behind. Nano Boost as an emergency onto Zumba, but it does keep him alive, and Molten Core now comes in. Such an important defensive ultimate, and LW Blue peel away. They're just going to wait that one out. They are going to do so successfully as now Eska, he's going to make his way through invisible. Doesn't necessarily have the sight lines to get that EMP in the right position as LW Blue not quite back here at the point yet.
Well, this time LW Blues can have a lot more ultimates. The self-destruct can be paired with this. We're going to see Dragon Blades, Primal Rage. The last one was kind of an eco-ult push. Here comes the first EMP down here, but it's very early coming in on the side of Eska. Pine's still going to have his in just a moment to drop it down, but not going to be the time now with 3 kills already. The next push,
he was hacked!
The next push is going to be the deadly one.
Yeah, that was nicely done. So blocking the EMP with a hack was Eska, so nicely played by Lunatic-Hai. They will still have a lot of ultimates on the side of LW Blue to try and make their next push happen. But Eska should be able to charge up that EMP pretty quickly.
I think they have to hit now with this one. It's going to be basically the big 6. Only missing is the Pulse Bomb here. Flower with the Dragon Blade, the self-destruct still available. If they can't make this push work, I don't know if any push ever will. Here we go, Pine's going in. He's hit that EMP.
Self-destruct is going to take down the turret as well, so a big part of the game plan now missing. Flower holding on to his Dragon Blade as he's looking for his opportunity to use it. Guido does fall. As Eska's still trying to pick up some kills. Saebyeolbe off to the side, but Lunatic-Hai holding on. They managed to get all of these shields back on again as Saebyeolbe not going to be able to get through that EMP from Eska, and he's going to be taken out. No more dashes. But deals with it.
I think it's the ult usage that's a problem here again for Luxury Watch Blue. The huge opportunity for the Dragon Blade. He held on to it, as you said. Could have done a lot more with it. They're going to come in for a follow-up push here. This time almost completely dry right now. Do not Zumba out of that mech already.
They're trying to stagger him out by the looks of things, or he has just made it out of there.
Pulse
Gambler's going to be able to grab a kill. Saebyeolbe not able to get the kill with that Pulse Bomb. The sticky just not quite there as Miro taking a lot of damage as he makes his way back in. Molten Core comes out And Toby should be able to gather some control, but he's going down very low. Lunatic-Hai losing their health bars like you would not believe. And LW Blue set themselves up on this point. Big
huge Earth Shatter.
But it's just a bit too late.
They get the cap.
Looked good though, Wolf.
It was a good Earth Shatter. It just didn't matter at the timing.
The Earth Shatter didn't matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Earth Shatter no matter. So
no matter the shadow, they still got the point.
Not the best time bank for LW Blue to work with. They've switched Flower back over to the Soldier though. They want to run this more ranged composition, not wanting to stick with the Genji anymore. And with the ult usage we've seen from them so far, the pairing not so good for the Dragon Blades. I actually prefer this, even though perhaps the Genji would have been stronger in some cases. Going back to what works is the better way to think of this one. For the attack here, the EMP misses Flower.
Yeah, so he's going to be able to get the attack visor in there. Recall comes down, and that is going to be Flower taking out Eska. Just as a bit of an aside there, Sabyolbi as well picking up some kills. LW Blue should be able to utilize this to try and get to at least that corner, possibly around. We all know that it's over that bridge that Lunatic-Hai want to make their last stand. The run back is just so difficult for LW Blue if they can hold the cart there. And LW Blue need the coordination. They need to get a wipe right up on this point so that they can actually tick it over to point A.
Interesting that we're still seeing Eska stick with the EMPs coming out. You're tougher to do on this long run back here. To see Sabyolbi look for the kill here. Will be getting it along with Giannis there.
Yeah, really good 1-2 punch coming out as the pulse bomb comes in. Sabyolbi actually just buying some space with that one, and Giannis is going to take down Miro. Looks like LW Blue are really feeling it right now as Giannis jumps his way out, just looking to try and peel for his backline. But they've got so much dispersion. Lunatic-Hai just look all over the place. They do manage to get a self-destruct in there, but it's knocked all the way back out.
Still gets the EMP though.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw that one out. Eska right up in there as the self-destruct is going to be able to take a mech down.
Gambler's taking names, man. He's trying to close the gap between him and Toby. We see this very late coming in. Primal Rage to buy time. They really want to hold this as their last Alamo. Toby gets the boop kill on the Gambler.
The backhands from Miro. Laying siege to this point, and if they... Oh, the pulse bomb! That's gonna do it. Miro
painful.
Not feeling good about that, but we're still able to get a lot of work done. LW Blue now with this big run back that we were talking about, and it's 25 seconds on the clock. Lunatic-Hai have set up for this defense.
Really good ult usage there to stagger them to make sure they could get the one big defense. Now they have all respawned up. They're going to have Giannis with the Primal Rage soon, but nothing really else. Sound Barrier will be working.
No one has anything
If they can get the fight longer, they'll have the Sound Barrier, but so many more tools on the side of Lunatic-Hai because they committed that Primal Rage so well timed.
Yeah.
Already in
the
sleep.
Advantage here as well is so important as Eska gets rid of that mech. This could be very important. No defense matrix available here for LW Blue as Flower's going to fall down. Not a lot of peel. Sabyolbi is going to be able to get the defense matrix of his own on the side of Lunatic-Hai. And now LW Blue are picking up the kills. It's the bash off the edge from Giannis who says, I am feeling a heck of a lot better. Just needed a warm up. And now he's got that sorted out. Oh, that was a big boot, but not able to quite get the kill as Miro's grabbed one.
They've committed so much, even the Transcendence used here to try to buy time. Almost the boop off onto Gambler. He survives though, comes back in, Sound Barrier used. They want this so bad, but Flower now coming in with the Dragon Blade, gets EMP'd here, but it looks like this will be enough to secure finally the second point.
Yeah, EMP doesn't really matter, it just means he can't dash, can still slice up a couple of members of Lunatic-Hai.
Super though, with the self-destruct, they are buying so much time. This could be a huge moment. Gets the kill onto Flower mid-air.
Oh, that is ridiculous. And now they're able to pick up the kills. Jaehyun comes back
I can't believe this.
Soldier
I can't
of all
believe it.
heroes.
They hold this. This is insane. The insane hold. That was one of the best holds we have seen on this map all season long. Buying so much time. The Primal Rage comes out, buys enough time for several ults to be used. The Sound Barrier, Jaehyun survives with the Transcendence. Everyone comes in and gets those picks. One pick is worth 4 picks when you're in this situation with a long run back like this. And it felt like Luxury Watch Blue got a little bit excited using all their ults once again. And none of them could kill the Transcendence going off on Jaehyun. Jaehyun's just sitting there saying, well, I am Zenyatta, you don't have burst enough to kill me.
They almost got the boop onto him. He almost flew right off the edge of the stage, but the angle just wasn't quite enough. I believe it was Gambler that did it. The Primal Rage had just worn off there from Giannis, but it was a heroic attempt from LW Blue because making it any further than this is actually extraordinarily hard on this map. That is where you hold on Eichenwald, and Lunatic-Hai were almost unable to do it. So
I mean, I was impressed, though, with the amount of times that they were able to stall in 2v6, 3v6 fights. That was an insane comeback there. Really well played. And they kind of put all their eggs in one basket, holding it, because they knew if they just built a little bit more time, the long run backs, which is how that works, were going to be in their favor. And I would completely assess with you the exact same you just said, is though they almost didn't do it, but at the same time, given the scenarios that Luxury Watch Blue had where they were so ahead in members, it's shocking they weren't able to complete.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see Lunatic-Hai's attack here. Eska walking in the Sombra already. We've seen so much of that on these hybrid maps.
You've seen no real change here from LW Blue. It's super standard 2-2-2, no funny business with Torbjorns or Orisas or anything like that. Like the way Lunatic-Hai decided to start off their defense. So LW Eska running very slow.
So Pine going to show his Ana now. We're going to see how well he plays this on defense with the double support here, the 2-2-2. Flower sticking with the Genji, not going to use that high ground soldier, wants to dive instead. Diving onto Toby here, Sabe will be a risky proposition with that bloodthirsty Lucio.
Oh, Flower's actually able to take down Jaehong, but immediately answered. Pine is going to fall. They've traded some supports. Lucios are going to be the next targets. We'll see whether LW Blue are going to be able to hold this one off. Eska says no, as Giannis once again falls down. It's just not his day. Hasn't quite got himself back into the swing of things just yet, I don't think, Wolf.
I agree with you. He certainly had his moments, but he doesn't look to be in full form just yet on this second map. We're going to knock out of the mech here already.
Oh, Meko. The kills from Lunatic-Hai just streaming in. Sabiolbi does get Guido, so manages to prove himself in the Tracer off, but it looks like Lunatic-Hai are going to be able to tick this one up. And LW Blue are going to have to try and defend this push.
This is with Jaehong swapping now onto the Soldier. Eska not even using an EMP yet. He's about to have it here. Takes so long to build on attack comparatively to defense. He has it now. See if he can find the angle with his translocator up in 2 seconds. We'll just wait to push this around the corner first.
Miro is going to die first. May have jumped in a little bit early. Eska taking a heck of a lot of damage. He's going to be able to translocate back, but Flowers being able to get so much of this work done. Jaehong and Guido both falling down in this pseudo triple DPS comp that Lunatic-Hai have put together.
Jaehong going to stick with it though on the Soldier. We're not going to see the Eska swap until he drops the EP if he wants to swap it at all. But Luxury Watch Blue have built up a healthy amount of ultimates here, and that card is just not rolling.
Yeah, and they don't need to use these ultimates. Remember, they're on the defense, and if they can hold it here, that is huge news. It was only 2 minutes for LW Blue to push forward. Last time, the defense much better out of Lunatic-Hai. And Miro is just going to be backhanding, folks. They are going to be able to at least get it through the doorway here inside of Lunatic-Hai and now start pushing it forward. But like I was just saying, like 4 minutes, 20 seconds in comparison to what was 2 minutes for LW Blue.
Absolutely. Keep in mind, LW Blue didn't use any ults in that exchange, really. It was only Miro's very aggressive Primal Rage coming in, so very ult efficient for Lunatic-Hai here. They still have a lot of tools, and their ult efficiency has been much better. Their usage has been better all series long. Guido looking for the back line here, drops the pulse, will help finish off this mech as the EMP comes down.
Yeah, they are going to be able to get rid of the entire front line of LW Blue. This cart just looks like it's on rails, and they are not changing the speed dial.
If anything, they're turning it up.
Oh no!
And
I don't have a train set like that.
Guido is just looking for anyone who sticks their head out a bit too far, out of the rabbit hole here. Speaking of rabbits, that self-destruct available here from Meko now. He's looking for an angle to pop it down potentially here. Just going to drop into the back line right now.
He's trying to stop this payload from moving forward. Going to get booped out of the way, get some decent damage in there as he's trying to defend, and LW Blue invest the sound barrier to try and get this one going. No Transcendence, remember, so sound barrier a whole lot more valuable from this LW Blue squad. They're not necessarily being able to get too much done. Now finally Flower gets a kill, and no D-Mech available, remech available from Meko. Zumba is going to see to him. A lot of damage is being done here from LW Blue, but losing your D.Va is so important. It's traded, it's a boot kill onto Zumba, so at least now no defense matrix for anyone.
The disruption that came out from Meko's self-destruct there was unreal. It was really well placed. It felt forced at first, but he finally found the right angle. The dispersion there meant that the synergy wasn't there on the defense, and that's how they ripped them apart without using that nano blade, which is now available. So there's definitely a very real possibility LW Blue can buy a lot more time here. We do see Ryu Jaehong switching back onto the Zenyatta now, which he's had so much success with, especially on control. It gets picked off already. Good target selection for LW Blue.
Yeah, massive dive actually out of the Winston Tracer combo. Good sleep onto Asker, who's going to be taken down. Pine, you know that he's able to hit these projectile shots. And LW Blue once again stave off Lunatic-Hai.
They're about to have a lot of tools, though. The EMP available. They have Primal Rage and Self-Destruct here. No support ultimates, but maybe not required here. Miro, of course, could benefit from a Transcendence if he wants to commit in with that Primal Rage. But the Dragon Blade is going to be the big key here. They don't have a sleep for it. Maybe can hit the EMP to prevent it from happening. Prevent that Sound Barrier, that would be huge. Already, though.
Yeah, and Miro's going to be taking a lot of damage from that Pulse Bomb. Not going to die to it, of course, and he's going to get healed back up sometime, as there's the EMP coming out from Esker. They are able to get a few kills off the back of it as well. Sabiolbi not able to dash, is picked off like food, and the whole front line now destroyed. Lunatic-Hai on the attack will easily be able to round this corner. And can they snowball this into a victory here at Eichenwald and get themselves to a set point?
3 key ultimates they're about to have here. The Self-Destruct they already have. The 2 support ultimates are about to be there that can buy so much time. Luxury Watch Blue needs to get on this. They need to come in right now. Miro's looking to deny anyone who comes in. They're going to go from the right side here.
Oh, this is a huge deal for LW Blue. Fantastic positioning for the defense. Yeah, good sleep, but he's woken up immediately. Zumba takes down Giannis, and they are going to invest. LW Blue know that they do not have a whole lot of options, and Kito's going to get the kill on Pine. They're losing so much of their health bars, but Flower trying to answer back, and Gambler falls. This could be it for Lunatic-Hai as they're pushing forward, but LW Blue are still alive. Big boost to try and get them away. Oh, it was so close. The payload almost managed to cap that for Lunatic-Hai as they're pushing forward. There's still 40 seconds on the clock, but the run back is massive here for Lunatic-Hai.
Every kill super important here right now. The EMP, yet again goes off. That's going to get the picks. There's the boot kill, and this might be it. Transcendence to try to make sure they can push this all the way. Get it with another pulse bomb here, looking to burn through that damage.
Yep, the mech is on the point, but it gets thrown off, and there it is. No, not quite. As LW Blue are doing their very best, but look at that feed.
That's the last part, that's it.
All the kills for Lunatic-Hai, and they will go up to match point. LW Blue just not able to get themselves together.
The ult usage has just been superior from this team, and that in Jaehong's accuracy, not so much on the second map where he had to swap several times between the Ana and the Zenyatta, but what we saw there from LW Blue was a dive commitment off of the payload. They went so deep to try to stop Lunatic-Hai from even rounding the corner there. Then they found themselves trapped between the entire team and an EMP of Lunatic-Hai and also the self-destruct that was on the other side. They got sandwiched in between there, and then suddenly Lunatic-Hai was able to snowball the kill feed. As you said, it was just painted their color. They were able to close it out eventually, just getting pick after pick after pick. The better delay tactics there by Lunatic-Hai. They had better tools. They decided to contest that last point on the payload itself. Luxury Watch Blue, they dove a bit too far.
Yeah, and of course, what LW Blue were failing to do was get any pick at all. And in